Everyone's out there with their Fold7s, and I just bought an OG Fold. Time to see how far we've come. Let's go. 7 years has passed since Samsung took to the stage at Samsung Developer Conference in 2018 to show off the lunchbox sample of the original Galaxy Fold.
When it's open, it's a tablet, offering a big screen experience.
In that time, Samsung have both led the foldable revolution and also fallen pretty alarmingly behind. But with the launch of the Z Fold7, they are now back in the mix, back at the forefront of foldable technology. The hardware front, yes, but even more so in software. The original Fold arrived to me in the original box, the original packaging. And I got to experience the unboxing of a $3,000 smartphone from 2019. Boy, did Samsung look after us back then. You truly felt like at the time you were unboxing something special. Samsung put little touches in there to alert you to that fact that you were at the forefront of the beginning of the next smartphone technology. The phone was inside a smaller box that was inside a sleeve. The whole thing was just really carefully considered. There were messages, you had the charger, you had cables, you had the actual aramid fiber case. They included that, the person I bought it from. And there was the spot for the Galaxy Buds, but no Galaxy Buds, which is understandable. Taking the Fold out of its little slim box was unreal. And with that first Fold, I felt like I was transported back to 2019 when I first used the original Fold. I had that same giddiness and excitement now that I did back then. Fast forward to 2025, and the Fold7 unboxing is about as standard as it gets. Just a slim box with the phone on the top. It's unfolded and flat in the same way the other one was, but that's about the extent of it. Whilst the unboxing experience has kind of gone down, design, wow, has that changed. The OG Fold had a 4.6-inch HD cover screen with a 60Hz refresh rate. It's crazy thick, had gaps everywhere, and a hinge that flopped around when it was open. Something I did appreciate at the time was the firm snap in which it did open, and then it had a very loud clasp when it was closed. There was just no strength to it in the in-between phase. It just kind of did that. The magic about it though was that when you unfolded it, all of those problems disappeared. Having that tablet screen on the inside though, however flawed it was, with the corner notch, the fragility issues, all just melted away whenever you consumed media, multitasked on it, or just stared at it. Fundamentally, none of that has changed. It's just now all elevated. Fold7 is nearly 10mm thinner when closed and around 3mm thinner when it's open. That inner display is still the size of a tablet, just a little bit bigger, and it also still gives you that sense of wonder that you had from the original. Multitasking is still ever present and has been improved through features like the pop-up taskbar and Android 16's new feature as well, where you can actually have 90% of the screen open and 10% to tap on and switch between them. But the core ethos and that essence of a foldable is still here in the first one. By God, that front display sucked. Even by 2019 standards, these bezels were ridiculous. Back then, this was launched alongside the Galaxy S10, which had, at the time, Samsung's thinnest bezels on a smartphone ever, and I think still holds up in today's standards. But what the Galaxy Fold did have in its advantage set was the fact it was narrow. From here to here, it was very easy to grip one-handed, and that cover screen was very easy to reach across just using one hand. It made it incredibly convenient for really basic smartphone tasks like social media browsing or just interacting with messages and just kind of doing things that are one-handed. Felt great. Typing on it sucked though. I did a bit of an experiment, typed out a tweet on here with one hand, and I really tried hard not to use the swipe to text because that does make it a little bit easier, and it wasn't very good. And then I immediately switched to the Fold7, and it was a much cleaner experience. It felt like a normal phone. But there was something about it, something that sort of gave you a sense of future about it, even though it was a phone screen from the past. And that was because you knew you could unfold it to this on the inside. I wanted to see what a first timer thought about it. Someone who'd never actually used a Galaxy Fold until recently, about what they thought of this form factor, the first generation Galaxy Fold. So I invited I invited my friend Samuel Nam around to try it out. So,
Yeah.
here's the Fold 1.
Fold 1,
Fold
original.
original.
Whoa, that's a chonker. Dude, that is Dude, just for reference. Holy moly, look at that. This is a chongus, but dude, it's very narrow.
It's very narrow.
Wow.
Try using that cover screen.
Oh, dude. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, this is ridiculous. This looks stupid, bro. So what's here? It's nothing.
Nothing. It's just
This is the
dead. It's just
it's
dead.
the big
Just
ass chin.
dead space.
This is the biggest chin I've ever seen in my life. Oh my. Nah. But this is weird. Hey, you know what? I would have liked this back then. I reckon.
You haven't unfolded it yet.
What the hell? Okay.
See how, like, leave it unfold, like half unfolded, and flap it around. Flap it around.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. That is. Yeah. This feels like a first generation product for sure. Well, what the hell? Like this morning, I was at a cafe and I was editing my. Dude, this feels so good.
Yeah.
Like as in refined. Why is there a lip there? Is that normal?
That's a dual camera, a depth camera and a main selfie camera.
Weird how it snaps like.
Yeah,
It just snaps
I'm
into-
glad you noticed the snapping. And then clasping it closed, it's got magnets.
But it's so easy to open because it's so fat.
Yeah.
You just, woo! Bro,
You don't hate it.
I could daily this.
You don't hate
what?
it.
I might buy one of these, man.
You don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I you know what? I might actually do a video where I just daily this. This is chongus. Oh my. This is, bro. This is ridiculous.
Cameras are next. I think what is interesting here is the spirit of the OG Fold is present in the Fold 7 when it comes to the cameras. Triple camera setup, an ultra wide, a 1x, and a telephoto, albeit a 2x versus now a 3x. You've got an inner selfie camera and a selfie camera on the front. It still gives you the option now to use that cover screen as a preview. It's much more enhanced now because you have a full-size preview screen on the front versus whatever this is. The inner display is great for both preview and review next to each other. That was still here on the Fold original. Again, the Fold 8 makes better use of it because it's got 8 inches in size versus the OG. But all of that essence, it's all still here on this Fold, and it's still carried across into the Fold 7. But this floppy hinge means that all the new stuff that's been added to the Fold since will never be here. The flex mode features that I adore and love so much are nowhere to be found on the original Fold. It's because it just can't hold itself up. As far as the cameras go themselves, we've obviously had huge technological advances in the years since this. That means that this is immediately outdated. You've got bigger sensor sizes, you've got more resolution, better aperture, better algorithms, better chipsets. All of it's been enhanced. And as much as, we thought back then this was a decent camera, it's just gotten so much better. Tell you what was good though, the inner camera on the OG Fold was actually decent. Even if it wasn't as wide a field of view as what the Fold 7 is, it still holds up today pretty good. It just was housed in a terrible corner notch. As far as performance and software goes, this was running the Snapdragon 855 globally. Back then, Samsung were very used to splitting Exynos and Snapdragon regions. Fold didn't do that. It used Snapdragon everywhere. It was paired with 12GB of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. Fold 7, 12GB of RAM, although the RAM is much more enhanced now. But you have the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, and we know what that chip is like. And you've got 256, 512, and 1TB of options, with the 1TB coming with 16GB of RAM, 60Hz versus 120Hz too. You immediately feel it when you start using this, that this is not a fluid refresh rate. It's an obvious performance mismatch on paper, but the software, I would say, still holds up. Since this has got a few updates, you've got the taskbar, which is present, which allows you to easily multitask, bring 3 apps into sort of different orientations and formats. That's all still there. The Fold 7 though does do it better. And that is because the original cover screen is 21:9, meaning the internal display, when you've got 2 apps side by side, it's running in a more natural orientation as well. OG Fold can still do it, it just doesn't look as good and it's a bit squashed and cramped. Where this loses out is not being able to support flex mode. Not being able to put it down on a table and have it be used for content purposes is a big disadvantage. And obviously they quickly rectified it with the Z Flip and the Fold 2 in the subsequent year, but the fact it didn't start with that means that this kind of loses out already, apart from the other obvious stuff. But what I was surprised by is watching content in landscape mode is actually the same on this as it is in the Fold 7. And the speakers hold up surprisingly well on here. That's probably thanks to the fact you've got the thicker body where a bigger speaker chamber can sit. Really convenient. What else you can do too is you can actually make it multi-window. So if you tap on it, you can either segment it off to the side, so it's side by side pages. You can do that and pop that out into a pop-up. Or if you're in voice recorder, as another example, you can go in there. It wasn't long enough. Another sort of oneui 8 feature that is perfect on the Fold is to do with photo assist. So photo assist, obviously we know. I could list more specs, talk about the problems this faced at launch and how people were concerned over its durability and how it was going to go. I could talk about the design and why this cover screen had a tiny display. Hint, it's because Samsung wanted you to unfold it. They intentionally had this small so you could go into this bigger one and use that. But then why did the inner display have this corner notch? Hint, it was because it needed to fasten down the display layers to make sure it stayed in place. But realistically, none of that actually matters. It was a phone that showed us where the future of the industry was headed. Smartphone on the front, tablet in the middle, and it could fold away and go into your pocket. 6 years later, we have arrived at a destination. It might not be the destination that Samsung initially set out to go to, because like I said, they wanted it to be compact on the front and then unfold into the bigger experience. It's now just a different version of that. It's thinner, it's lighter, and it's more like a normal smartphone than it's ever been, and it just so happens that it unfolds into a tablet as well. The only thing that needs to come down now, alongside the weight and the thickness, is the price. This launched at $2,999. Came with case, charger, earbuds. Galaxy Z Fold7, $2,899. Doesn't come with any of that. I do have a full comparison with every single Galaxy Fold that's been released coming, so make sure you hit subscribe to that. Join as a member too, because you won't want to miss the early access to that video. It's going to be a big one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Yo!